Stand up! Stand up! We're not backing down! Stand up! Stand up!
Let's talk about a boring topic. Elections. The successful elections we oversaw last year were free and fair elections, conducted in accordance with Arizona law, with results that accurately reflected the will of Maricopa County's voters. So for anyone still going on about widespread fraud or stolen elections, stop it. I've been now on the county board for several years, and I've lived through several election cycles, probably the most tumultuous of our times in county history. And I think one thing I have is a reputation as a conservative Republican. No one can call me an election denier. I have always accepted the results of every single election. That's how it works in our constitutional republic. And that's what we're going to keep doing. But in 2022, I believe that Maricopa County fell short in that election when we had the issue with the tabulators and the printers. And for me, that was a searing experience. It was an awful experience because I think collectively, and buck stops here, we let down people.
I'm Jamie Martin, and for 4 years I've raised the alarm about serious contract oversight failures, specifically third-party vendors in our elections, but this impacts every single contract that the state oversees, not just our elections. Last month I submitted a personal records request 139, and this week it escalated to the Recorder's Office, Procurement, Information Governance, and this board. I'm not just asking for transparency, I am demanding accountability. I have been trying for the past 4 years to get Resolution 3 approved. It was approved in theory by the MCRC ECG committee. Now it needs to be approved in writing. It's a free 90-day complete corrective action plan that involves the legislator.
As an elected official, I've always made it a point that I will work with anybody. I will meet with anybody. And I am all ears when it comes to public discussion. I will listen to folks.
Where I'm asking the legislator to do the job that I used to do. So I worked at American Express. I was the person that had to escalate to the leaders to get them to open the corrective action plan. That's why I'm asking about corrective action plans. I've handed Mark Stewart and Debbie this complete packet. It's now in your guys' hands with PRR 139 for the BOS and information governance, and PRR 2564 for the Recorder's Office. I know what happens if this solution is ignored, and I can't let that happen in Arizona. I love my God, I love my country, and I love my freedom, and I need you to put this on the next BOS agenda so we can have a conversation with all the parties involved. I'm asking you if we can do that.
Thank you, ma'am. Madam Clerk.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Tarani Chin, Roger Mayup.
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
Hey, Mr. Crawley, please. Next speaker.
All right, listen up, I've got a thing to say. Listen up, listen up.
My name is Jamie Martin. I submitted a formal agenda request on Sunday and did not receive a response within the expected 48-hour time frame, business hours. We need to put guardrails into the complaint process. We mentioned it today. There's also an active Superior Court case, so I will keep this procedural. The public is asking for 3 things: that election and the recorder issues stop repeating, and that the internal conflict stops, and that the contracts are properly governed where complaints start. What has not been presented is a clear structural solution by you.
Just abused, not wanting to really sit down and talk. I've seen over the last 3 years where 12 to 15 people come and say, we're we the people. You're not we the people. 12 people are not we the people. And I'm so appreciative that Lucha coming together and saying, hey, we want to work with the board. We want to be able to be part of that dialogue and discussion. We want to offer suggestions. So I appreciate Lucha coming to our board meeting and being here and being able to offer that to our board. I'm willing to sit down and talk with you all. Let's sit down, let's work together. If you have suggestions or ideas, let me know.
I want to present one. Please listen to me. A corrective action framework implemented within the existing complaint process creates a defined safety net where issues are assessed, root causes are identified, corrective actions are implemented, and outcomes are monitored so the same problems stop repeating over and over again. I am requesting that this be placed on an upcoming board agenda for formal review. I followed the proper process. I submitted my request, and I expected a response, but I didn't get one. I'm here today to ensure it's formally acknowledged. We need to discuss corrective action plans with respect to the complaint process and the contract oversight process where you're using our taxpayer funds for these contracts and for these processes that you're implementing without our input. Thank you.
Begging you to hear my.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Martin. Dear Board, we need to discuss complaints and how they are or are not being handled. I'm talking specifically about the meeting that you guys just had on Monday, April 6th. At that meeting, there was clear acknowledgement of how public records requests, elections, recorder's office, procurement operate together. That part's understood, no problem. What's still missing is that what actually happens when something goes wrong. Right now, complaints are raised in this public comment forum. We can submit them, they're reviewed, but there's no clear, consistent process that ensures complaints are corrected and followed through to resolution.
I'm here to work, and I have always done it that way, Madam Chair. Like I said, I've worked with Leslie. I'm willing to work with Lucha now. If they're interested in sitting down, let's do it. Let's do it.
That's the gap I've been trying to raise with you. Steve, you said at the last meeting, no one has come to you to discuss a solution. I've been trying since May 5th of 2023.
Not once have you guys ever said, hey, let's sit down and talk and let's come up with a dialogue. Let's exchange ideas.
I'd love to talk to you about it. Yesterday, I emailed you all a full 90-day corrective action plan, along with the supporting background. The framework's there. It simply needs to be considered and acted upon. You have a process flow. You have a formal corrective action. And if you had pulled the run-back contract like I did, and you had seen there was no disaster recovery policy during a pandemic election, signed June 4th of 2020, you too would be outraged, as I was.
It's nothing but insults, insults, and insults. That's all I hear. So with that, Madam Chair, I'm sorry. Thank you all for coming now. Thank you, Lucha. I look forward to sitting down and talking. And thank you, Madam Chair, for another great board meeting.
Please get corrective action plans on an upcoming agenda so we can stop these systemic issues from repeating. Thank you.